It really does seem I can't set up the news. Today we have 3 stories. 2 are about Apple and 1 about Donald Trump. The first 2 which are about Apple launching a new credit worthiness program and Apple News losing the New York Times. Now, I do want to say quickly before we get into today's stories, we are going to be splitting it into 3 segments. And along with this 3-segment change comes another change to the YouTube channel. So on the YouTube channel, videos will now be uploaded on Sunday for past week's episodes. And any additional YouTube content can be uploaded throughout the week. This is just to lighten my load temporarily. In some holidays, it should get a bit better. So let's get started with today's first story about the Apple Card. So Apple is launching a new Apple Card program who have their application declined. Allows you basically to see an email offering you a past Apple Card program. Now it is opt-in and it can run for up to 4 months. It leverages information that Goldman Sachs used to determine their credit worthiness to outline why they were declined, help them improve a specific financial markers that will make them more likely to get approved next time. This is very interesting. I've never seen anything like this where they actually give you anything kind of interesting to help you with credit. So this is actually good by Apple. They're really trying to get people to think about their credit and actually get better with managing their credit. Now, there is a privacy notice in this article from TechCrunch, which is that Apple only knows whether you choose to participate. And Goldman Sachs is not sharing data with third parties for advertising or marketing to the same deal as the Apple Card itself. Now, as for what you'll get in each monthly update, you'll get examples of resolving past due balances, making payments to secured and unsecured debts on time, and lowering credit card and personal loan debt. So it will give you helpful tips of what you need to do and what you kind of need to pay in order to help yourself kind of get better with credit. And at the same time, again, this will also be teaching you how to better manage your credit. So it's definitely good for those of you who want to get better at managing your credit and are also looking to get an Apple Card. It's 2 ways to get into one thing. Now, another thing about Apple Card is that it really does handle fiscal transparency quite well. The approach Apple takes is an effort to make it as easy as possible not to pay interest. This is a credit card. Credit cards are there to pay interest. By paying interest, they get more money. It's not what you would expect to get. And this additional financial health tool fits well within their overall philosophy. So it's definitely good to see these sorts of things coming out. And as Apple is pioneering it, we could see it coming to more places. After all, we know, especially in the tech world, most things that Apple does, people follow. Now, I said we're going to split it into segments, and we are. So we're going to do the Apple News now, then we're going to do Trump's Twitch news, and we'll have one other surprise story that literally came in 2 minutes ago. So our second story today is Apple News and how we've lost the New York Times. This has literally just happened, and as of today, the New York Times will no longer be distributing articles in the Apple News app. Now, according to Apple, they only got a few stories a day, so it won't change content drastically. However, this is a massive name to quit, and for the first one and first big name since The Guardian left in 2017. Now, I'm not sure when Apple News was actually launched. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it does sound like it was much longer ago. Anyway, they do also have their monthly News Plus subscription, which is $10 a month and offers access to a variety of magazines and newspapers. Now, the free version has a much larger array of news, while the Times only offered a few articles to Apple News. So again, if you were using Apple News and you weren't looking at the Times, you won't notice a massive decrease in their stories. This also comes though as COVID-19 starts to put a much bigger strain on media business, as this defection could lead to other publishers looking to strike out on their own. So I kind of see it going 2 ways. Apple will either to get on with this and no one else will leave it, just a one in a herd thing, or the whole herd decides, you know what, if the New York Times is doing it, maybe we should start jumping ship. Again, no, this is very different. The New York Times only offered a few stories a day. Others offering considerably more. So don't worry about it too much, don't panic about it too much. For all you know, you will still see literally every single thing that you expect to see. So that's it for the first segment, which is the Apple segment. So Apple's passed a credit card to Apple Card credit worthiness program. Definitely seems like a good thing if you want to learn how to manage the credit and also get an Apple Card. As for Apple News leads in the New York Times, we just have to wait and see what kind of effect that has on the overall usage. So that's it for today's first segment. Our second segment will be on Trump's suspension from Twitch, and our second surprise story. There are only going to be 2 segments today. After all, it's 4 stories. The more stories there are, the more segments there will be. So, let's move into the second segment. Okay, so it's time for the second segment today, and we're going to start with our shorter story, which is about the Xbox Series X, or I should say Xbox Series S. So this is coming from The Verge, and according to The Verge, the Xbox Series S is expected to be launched in August. Now, this isn't much of a surprise. We know Microsoft does have an event supposedly still planned for next month on their game launches. So it makes sense for them to do another month where they release a pricing for the Xbox consoles. Now, the event in August is rumoured to be an announcement for the Series S, or the console currently codenamed Lockhart, and also the price for the Series X. So this August event should be a final roundup for pricing and last bits of information that we need to know. I personally really hope that they do it this month, or I should say next month in July, because I just think it's kind of enough of this whole chicken on the price. Just come out, say your price, name it. If it's really high, we don't really care by now, we just want to know what the price is. So I hope they do it in July, but August, that's fine by me. Let's just see who does it first. Now let's get on to today's kind of bigger story that's not related to Apple, which is that Trump has been suspended from Twitch as Reddit bans Donald and additional subreddits. Now, Twitch confirmed today that it has temporarily suspended the president's account. Start quote, "Hateful conduct is not allowed on Twitch. In line with our policies, President Trump's channel has been issued a temporary suspension from Twitch for comments made on stream, and offending content has been removed," end quote. Now, this story came from TechCrunch, and spokesperson for the streaming giant is supposed to have said this to TechCrunch. Now, Twitch does cite 2 incidents from campaign rallies. One uttered by Trump. They're uttered by Trump at rallies 4 years apart. The first comes from his campaign kickoff, including the now infamous words. Start quote, "When Mexico sends it," I'm not even going to read this quote actually. So I'm not going to read it. If you remember it, then you remember it. If you don't, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to read it. You should go look at the TechCrunch article yourself. I just can't bring myself to read that. Second is from a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And again, I'm not going to read it. But Twitch tells TechCrunch that it offered the following guidance to Trump's team when the channel was launched. Start quote, "Like anyone else, politicians on Twitch must adhere to our terms of service and community guidelines. We do not make exceptions for political or newsworthy content," end quote. Now, this is coming straight after Twitch decided to take more action on things that are happening in its community and take a more serious approach to actually enforcing its laws, or I should say its rules. Now, they say they do not make exceptions for political and newsworthy content and will take action on content reported to us that violates our rules. Again, I'm not too surprised that this sort of thing is happening, and we are also coming up to election time. So it's just kind of a matter of how long is this going to last. Now, the news also follows a recent ban of the massive The Donald subreddit. It supported more than 790,000 users and was largely devoted to sharing content about Trump. Reddit confirmed the update to its policy that resulted in a ban along with 2,000 other subreddits. one devoted to the hugely popular leftist comedy podcast Chapo Trap House. The company cites the following new rules. Rule 1 explicitly states that communities and users that promote hate based on identity or vulnerability will be banned. There is an expanded definition of what constitutes a violation of this rule, along with its specific examples in their Help Center article. And Rule 2 ties together their previous rules on prohibited behaviour with an ask to abide by community rules and post with authentic personal interest. Debate and creativity are welcome, but spam and malicious attempts to interfere with other communities are not. The other rules are the same in spirit but have been rewritten for clarity and inclusiveness. It also adds that all communities on Reddit must abide by our community policy in good faith. The r/TheDonald has not done so, and so it has been banned despite every opportunity. Now, the community has consistently hosted and upvoted more rule-breaking content than average, and whilst antagonising not only Reddit but other communities, which breaks rules 2 and 8. Its mods have also refused to meet our most basic expectations. So whilst Reddit has worked in good faith with them, they have not done what they meant to do. Now, Reddit also adds that it banned the smaller Chapo board for consistently hosting rule-breaking content, and their mods have demonstrated no intention of reining in their community. So that, again, makes sense. Now, Trump has found himself waging war on social media sites. Twitter played a whack-a-mole with problematic tweets around mail-in voting and other issues. After that, he signed an executive order taking aim at Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which protects sites from being sued for content posted by users. Personally, I think that makes sense, but there is a law that protects them. They are merely a host for this content, and yes, what they should be taking responsibility for some of it. It is also up to the users for what they post on that site. So, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens to Section 230, but so far, not looking good. So let's do a quick recap of everything we've gone over today. Apple's Path to Apple Card credit worthiness platform definitely seems like a good way to learn about improving your credit and also getting an Apple Card if you want one. Apple News losing the New York Times is a fallout that we have to see the ramifications of. Xbox is rumoured to announce Xbox Series X launch price and the Xbox Series S console in August. And Trump has been suspended from Twitch as Reddit bans TheDonald and additional subreddits. That's everything for today. Visit Down Out Digital World. My name is Luke, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.